Everybody, Sean Day here with Hire Lead Chill. Listen, there's some crazy stuff going on in the labor market right now. Today's August 5th, 2025. We are seeing a dramatic increase in difficulty finding really good candidates to apply, interview, and get hired in the blue collar world. And I don't want to sound like it's a red alert, but it's warming up. It's starting to steam. It's starting to boil. So let's talk about what's going on and then what we can do to help fix it. Right. So there's something called the labor force participation rate, and it's a way to measure how many people are in the country are actually working or trying to work. It looks at everyone age 16 and older and sort of asks, are you either working a job or actively looking for one? If the answer is no, you're not counted in the labor force. That means retirees, students, stay-at-home parents, people with disabilities, and et cetera. And anyone who has stopped looking for work are not part of the labor force participation rate. So now here's what's going on. The labor force participation rate just dropped to 62.3%. That's the lowest it's been since late 2022 when COVID was still happening and the government was giving us a bunch of money and incentivizing us not to work. So, if you took that out, the COVID stuff, this is probably worrisome, for like the last few decades. So that means fewer people are participating. Fewer people are working or even looking for work. Over 329,000 people dropped out of the labor force recently. They're not working and they're not looking for work. They're not wanting to be hired. Another 234,000 people want a job but have not looked in the past 4 weeks. That brings a total to nearly 1.8 million people, almost 2 million people not even looking for work. They're not counted in the unemployment rate at all either, which is at 4.1 or 2%. And they're just simply not seeing your job ads, almost 2 million people. So there's fewer people applying for jobs and your cost per hire is rising, sometimes dramatically. It now takes more money to get your job seen on boosting for Indeed, Craigslist, Facebook, etc. It costs more. And even when people apply, ghosting and no-shows are increasing. Okay. I always talk about if you do have somebody that's actually looking for a job, which many people are not right now, right? Most of the country isn't. Quick apply, quick apply, quick apply. They can apply quickly to 15 different jobs and they do. This is the reality we're living in. Okay. I know we wish it would be different. I know we kind of have our ego saying, you need to prove it to us, but you need to be more flexible than ever. So when you can apply to 15 jobs in like 10 seconds, here's what I see the reality happening. This is what we see every day. Somebody, not someone, but many hundreds, thousands of job candidates across the country, quick apply on Indeed to 15 different places. They set up 7 or 8 interviews from that. They get 5 interviews that they just did. Then they see your job ad, set up an interview. They apply, set up an interview. Then they get 3 job offers 2 days before the interview. They accept one of the jobs because it was a great offer. So even if you have a great job to offer, they simply took another one because of timing reasons, right? That doesn't make them a bad person. I've got small businesses and small business owners and clients of ours that think these are horrible people. I do not want to call. They didn't show up to the interview. Okay, do that. That's fine. I think let's look at the numbers. Let's say that one person applied to 15 different places and play that scenario out. What if you're getting 5 no-shows, 10 no-shows, 20 no-shows a month? Okay, that's a lot of people. You don't think there's 2 or 3 outstanding employees in there? What tends to happen is timing. If they applied to 15 different jobs, do you expect them to call 15 different people and business owners? That would take hours. Most of them don't even know the names of the companies they're applying for, even phenomenal employees, because of the way the world is, because of the way technology is, not because they're bad people. And I think you're missing the boat, especially when it's difficult, if you're not tapping into that. So, the other thing is if you're not willing to spend extra money to find people by boosting and sponsoring more, okay, right now, your business is going to be left behind. This isn't anything to do with recruiting techniques with Hire Lead Chill or others out there that are phenomenal recruiting companies. This is the reality of the labor market we're in. The data lays it all out. On top of all this, wages for blue collar workers have jumped significantly. Real wages grew by 1.7% in the first 5 months of 2025. This is the fastest increase in nearly 60 years. 60 years. Over 12 months ending in June, wages and salaries rose 3.6% overall for private industry jobs, according to BLS.gov, labor statistics. So much of this higher wage growth is being driven by large companies too, which are our competitors, especially in logistics, manufacturing, warehousing operations. Major players like Amazon and Walmart and others are paying, a lot of money to attract our labor force. And smaller employers are having to raise their wage to compete, So think about it. Current employees know that wages have gone up. So really good employers that want to keep really good employees are increasing their wage. Because current employers are paying more, fewer people are looking to switch jobs. That means the job market is less fluid. Hiring pools are thinner and fewer active job seekers exist. All of this is affecting the job market. Meanwhile, large companies are still hiring aggressively. In the past 6 months, Pratt Industries pledged $5 billion for expansion, 5,000 new jobs. Siemens invested $205 million and added 900 jobs. Amazon's building a 3 million square foot warehouse in Connecticut. That's thousands of jobs right there, let alone the rural warehouse projects that they have going, let alone the construction companies that are going to be working to build those things, and then the suppliers that supply the construction. This is a lot of blue collar labor. Johnson & Johnson just committed like $55 billion over 4 years to U.S. manufacturing. GE Aerospace is investing nearly $1 billion in production and supply chain expansion. This means demand for hourly labor is surging and competition is fierce, and you've got to be nimble. You've got to be willing to pay a little bit more. You've got to be maybe more creative. These are big companies that we're competing with. The other thing that's happened is, I don't want to get into the politics of this. I don't want to get into the politics of this, but because there is so much focus on immigration, and especially illegal immigration, big corporations are no longer grabbing illegal immigrants and putting them on payroll or paying cash. Landscapers don't have that same thing where they have workflows of both legal and illegal immigrants coming in. And I don't mean to pick on the landscapers, but that's any blue collar industries, right? That's a big part of the labor pool that is no longer available. Now that's pulling from all of us and all of my clients that say, hey, I want to have a knockout question that says that you legally have to be verified to work in the United States. More people are pulling from the legitimate legal immigrants and U.S. citizens. That's a big deal. Now, if you're struggling to hire, you're not alone. You're competing with billion-dollar companies that are paying more, offering some benefits, maybe really good benefits, and attracting workers that we need. Other realities making it harder. And I'm going to get into the solutions here in a minute. The immigration issue we talked about, there's a big surge at the border. Many potential workers are stuck in legal limbo too. Employers can't rely on that labor for W-2 jobs. It's complicated, it's risky, and not dependable right now. Okay. Second, culture has shifted. More workers want flexibility, purpose, and meaning. The old just show up and do the job, get your check, and get out of here mindset no longer motivates a lot of candidates. Third, the gig economy pulls labor away, right? Work from home, driving for Uber, delivering food often looks more attractive, more flexible than scrubbing toilets or mowing lawns, especially if you're not offering good pay, benefits, flexible hours, or a positive culture. Okay, so what can we do about this? Number one, you can get a hold of me. My calendar link is somewhere. We can talk about your vision statement. We can talk about your culture, your core values, some leadership issues, and retaining of employees. Okay. You've got to treat recruiting like marketing. Sell the job, make it exciting, use video, follow up fast, engage old applicants. That person who ghosted you last month might now be ready to work. Call them again, text them, offer a 2-day trial shift if they want. And if it works out, great. And finally, accept that hiring will cost more right now. But that's not a bad thing. A great employee can generate, $70,000, $100,000, $200,000 of revenue in a year. Even if you spend a few $100s more to hire the right person, you still win. Take some marketing budget, put it into recruiting. And the bottom line is, wait for the labor market to fix itself, which it will. Okay. The companies that act now and build smart recruiting systems will come out ahead. The ones that sit back and wait, complain, focus on no-shows are going to fall behind. It's that simple. So with all that said, let me put my calendar link up here somewhere. Click on it. We'll chat about it. We'll talk about it. But be prepared. It's been a very, very difficult market. It's going to stay that way for a little bit. We might see some changes here in the next quarter. I think if we got to look out for things like consumer spending. If that starts to dry up, there might be some hints of recession, which usually loosens the labor market, and we can find some more people. But you've got to make sure that you're investing in recruiting today. Click me up. Let's talk about it. Take good care. You guys have a good day. Stay positive out there. We can make it happen. Schedule something.